Hey, I'm Jeremy from Jeremy's Drink of the Month. Today we're walking over to Chesapeake Brewing Company to talk with Peter Franchot, the Comptroller of Maryland, about Maryland breweries. Comptroller Franchot, thanks for joining us today.
Jeremy, it's a pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for your advocacy for the craft beer industry here in Maryland. We also want to thank Chesapeake Brewing for hosting us today.
Yeah, well, that's one super couple, I'll tell you, that run this place because they do a great job and they demonstrate what's important about craft beer.
So tell me, how did you get interested in Maryland beer as a cause in the first place?
I'm the chief alcohol regulator, so I have to make regulations for the three-tier system. That's wine and distilled spirits and beer. So I've dealt with wine and distilled spirits. We've modernized the state's laws. Now we need to modernize the craft beer laws.
So we just finished up February. Could you tell us about what February was and what it accomplished and what we can look forward to next year?
Well, February is a promotional month. It's got to play on, obviously, brew, but it's very successful, and the governor was presenting a proclamation, and we did some work around it, and the breweries have been great. I hope next February that we're selling Maryland craft beer all over the state, tax-free for the whole month of February. We want to promote these wonderful, innovative entrepreneurs. And why do we want to do that? Because when you make the beer in Maryland where you sell it, the economic activity is magnified because of the local production.
Now for a hard-hitting question.
Sure.
What's your favorite beer style?
Probably IPA, I guess, with everybody else in the world. But I'm getting acclimated to these sour beers.
Yeah,
that's kind of an acquired taste, I find, but
you're a real drinker.
Why not?
Yeah. And you mentioned the watchdog earlier that Chesapeake Brewing made in honor of your advocacy for the industry. I think you have 3 beers named after you now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm on the warpath to get some more. I consider them. I'm more honored to get a beer, even temporarily named after me, than I am to get an honorary degree from some fabulous university because, well, the beer tastes good.
Right. How did that come to be? That
it just came up out of the creativity of these breweries. They came up with it. It never even occurred to me, frankly. I didn't even know you could do something like that, but they did. And I want to thank Guinness. They're moving into Baltimore County. They're owned by Diageo. They're a giant brewery, obviously, but they've sided with the craft brewers.
Sure.
And believe me, they got a lot of pressure to fall into line with the powers that be. So I'm grateful to Guinness. I hope people go and visit their tap room, and I hope folks come down and visit all of these wonderful establishments in Anne Arundel County, but we need to quadruple the number of breweries in Anne Arundel.
What do you think the future is for Maryland craft beer, and when you look forward, what do you foresee coming down the pipeline?
I think it's a future without limits. I think if we could get a few of these regulations removed and modernized, we would double, triple, or quadruple our craft brewers within a few years.
Well, great. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure, Jeremy.